All right, Joel. Welcome to Miami.
Oh,
How are you doing?
yeah, great, man. So excited to be here. I just flew here actually from Melbourne in Australia. So I had a long flight over, but well worth it. Nice to be here in the sun with this view. And I love Miami, so it's great to be back.
What do you like to do in Miami?
Well, I actually used to kind of live here.
Oh, really?
I went to Miami. Um, I studied abroad for a year, so I stayed here for a year when I was 19. So I kind of lived the Miami life as a student back then, and that was like over 10 years ago. And so yeah, it's great to be back. And when I'm here, I mean, I love the beach. The beach is amazing. When I'm here, I'm normally DJing, so I normally like kind of arrive, go to the club and fly out the next day. So this week I'm actually staying for a few days, so I'm looking forward to hitting the beach and going back to see a few places that I used to check out when I was a student 10 years ago.
Which places are those?
Well, the campus was in Coral Gables, so I might head back there, and I might even go back to university and have a look around actually. It's been I had an amazing time there, so yeah, I've got a few days off here actually next week after Miami Music Week, because I go to Mexico after here, but I've got a few days off in Miami, so I might have to go and check out the U. Haven't been there in a while.
All right, great. So, what do you have planned for Music Week, for performances?
So tomorrow, which is Thursday, I'm playing at Oliver Heldens' Hell Deep pool party, which I'm excited for. I'm closing it, so got to put on a wicked show to close that huge event. So excited for that set. Friday, I'm playing at Live with my man Tiesto, supporting the legend himself. Me and Tiesto have become friends recently as well, so we hanged out in Vegas a few weeks ago, and we're talking about doing something together this year, so it's going to be cool to hang out in Miami, and I'm with him in Mexico as well, so yeah, gonna look forward to that. And then Saturday I've got my own event at Le Rouge, with support from CID and West End and Lucky Rose, and then Sunday, actually I can't say what I'm doing on Sunday, something special on Sunday, but I can't say that right now.
Alright. Well, we will keep follow you along. Can you tell us something about how did you get started and what inspired you to become a DJ?
Yeah, I started DJing when I was a young teenager, 13 years old. My older brother was a DJ, so one year for Christmas I was like, Mum, I need to be a DJ too. I was like, my older brother's so cool, so I need some decks, I need to give this a go. And I got some decks at Christmas, and it just became my hobby and my passion in life. After school every day I'd be on my decks practicing and recording mixtapes, and then I started DJing at people's birthday parties and school proms and weddings and bar mitzvahs and auntie's 40th birthday party, all the different parties you can imagine I was DJing at. And then that progressed into me DJing on the club circuit. In my early 20s I was a resident DJ across London. I had up to 5 residencies a week. In the summer I'd go abroad and play in the party resorts, the Greek islands and Ibiza and Magaluf in Spain. So I had my summers abroad, which I loved them, and I guess this thing that I love to do in life, I just thought, how can I take this further? How can I go the next step? And my idols were people like Calvin Harris and David Guetta, Tiesto that we just spoke about. These guys are still my idols, and I was like, how can I get to that level? What are they doing? And of course they were releasing music, they were producing, they were putting tracks out and having success in the charts, as well as being DJs. So at that point, I really had to focus on the production side of things. I studied it at college, so I dabbled in it, but I really had to focus in on it. And I had my first hit single when I was 30 years old in 2019, so it took a while for it to happen, but when it happened I was ready. And the last few years have been like a roller coaster, a dream come true.
Wow. Well, it sounds like an amazing story and a dream come true. How would you describe your sound, and how did you develop it?
How do I describe a sound? So I would describe my music that people would be familiar with as commercial house that is uplifting, and I also, if people come to see me DJ before and see me perform, they'll see that in my sets I like to also play, you know, some deeper, more underground music as well. And I feel like what I do is I do both things, so it's not one particular thing, you know. As I mentioned, people be familiar with the music they hear on the radio, and that stuff is kind of lives more in like a pop dance lane. But the stuff that I also like to play in my sets is darker and deeper and heavier. But I've shown this recently in my releases as well. I've just released like 3 club records that top the Beatport chart. So, you know, it's good for me to get that side of myself across as well. And how did I develop the sounds? Man, this has been like years and years of evolving and developing. You know, the first music that I released was much more EDM and like Melbourne bounce, and that's going back to like 2015. And before that, you know, I was very much in the garage scene in the UK, and even played drum and bass and jungle as a teenager. So I think I've kind of gone through stages as the years go on, and I think all DJs do this. But I think it's really a really positive thing to have kind of experimented in lots of different genres. But now I have found my sound and formula.
Amazing. And what is important for you in your music to express and move the crowds?
It's a good question. Like, I think with me, what I gravitate towards is, with my records, I want them to be records that people want to hear on the dance floor. You know, when they're going on a night out or to a festival, they want to hear that record and dance with it with their friends and have that moment together. But also, I want my music to have an emotional layer to it. So they're also the sort of tracks that you want to listen to late at night in the car on your own. If you're relaxed, chilling at home, you want to hear my music as well. And I think that what I found with these records is that nice bridge of music you want to dance to, but also music you can connect with emotionally. And I think the emotion side, it comes through the songwriting, and sort of the production is what brings, if you like, the energy. So it's that nice mix of both.
You do your own songwriting as well?
Well, I work with a lot of amazing songwriters. You know, I come from a DJ background, and I love being involved in the songwriting process. I find it so interesting and so exciting. But I'm super lucky to work with some amazing talented songwriters that, you know, quite a few songwriters I work with, I repeat and work with again and again and again, and seem to have found that magic formula. So yeah, you know, it's something that I like to be involved in, but I'm very lucky to work with some amazing talent.
Okay, well, that's amazing. What can we expect from you in the future? What are your future plans? Any new music coming out?
Yeah, so I just released a new single called What Do You Do, which is my second collaboration with David Guetta, and it features the vocals of Bryson, which is out now. So I'm really excited about to get that one out, because I've been working on it for nearly a year now. So it's been a long process for this one. So happy to get this one out. And this year, yeah, plenty of new music coming, and back to touring again. You know, out there post-pandemic, festivals are back, clubs are back. This is what I always dreamed about doing, traveling the world and playing on the biggest festival stages around the world. So this is going to be the best year ever, and Ibiza all summer long as well. You know, last year Ibiza was under quite a lot of restrictions, like the rest of the world was. But this year, back to Ibiza being how it should be, and really excited for that.
Awesome. Well, I can't wait to hear new music coming out and see you perform. Thank you so much, for coming on the Miami Guide, and good luck with your music career.
Thanks for having me. Cheers.
All right, thanks.